Welcome to Cooking with Gerald. On today's episode, I'll be making creamy chicken and noodles. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. And for those of you that are returning, I'd like to thank you for coming back and also for supporting. Before we get started, if you would for me, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you like the content that you're watching, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's take it a step further. If you want to be notified each time I do upload a new video, go ahead and click that notification bell in the top right hand corner of the screen. Now on to the video. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Cooking with G or Cooking with Gerald. Hey, today I'm not feeling that well, so I'm gonna make me some chicken noodle soup. Pretty much some creamy chicken noodle soup. So I planned on making some fried chicken wings, but I'm just gonna take my chicken wings and make them into soup. Starting off, I have about 6 wingettes, which are the flat and the drumstick portion. I have about 1/4 cup of celery, 1 small onion, which is equate to about 1/2 cup. Poultry seasoning, the complete seasoning, heavy cream, black pepper, accent, onion powder, garlic powder, some chicken bullion, and some white egg noodles. I also took out the cream of chicken soup. Now what you can do is you can actually boil it and make a broth, and then just add probably about 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream and let it cook down some more, and it will give you that creamy element aspect. That's actually better as far as health conscious is concerned, because you're able to control your sodium. As you can see, I don't have any salt up here because this bouillon base is actually already has salt in it. So that's just one tip. If you don't have the heavy cream and you don't want to go through all the fuss, you can still prepare it the same way that I'm going to prepare it, but instead of adding the heavy cream, you'll just add the cream of chicken soup. In that sense, you'll have, I guess, pieces of chicken in there, and your chicken noodles will be a lot more thick and creamier. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. I have on the stove right now 2 tablespoons of butter, have that heating up. To that, I'm going to add my celery and my onion. Normally I do have carrots when I do make this. However, today I don't have any carrots. I had some celery that I cut up and put in my freezer, but I didn't have any carrots. So we're going to do it without the carrots. And I might end up adding some potatoes in there just because I want to. So what I'm going to do is let that come up to temperature and allow the vegetables to become translucent, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so as you can see, the vegetables have become translucent. I have my water on the back of the stove, which I'm about to move to the front of the stove, heating up. While I was doing that, I have 5 cups of water in this pot. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is add my bouillon. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add my vegetables. Go ahead and get those off the way. Whenever you're making any type of stock or soups, it's always good to use meat that has a bone on it, because that bone is what gives it flavor, which is what I'm doing today. And chicken wings make good stock. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my bouillon. Excuse me. With this bouillon, the instructions say to add 1 teaspoon per cup. I have 5 cups of water in here. I'm only going to add 4 because of the salt content. And then what I'll do after it cooks down, I'll test it for flavor and see if I need to add either some salt or add some more of the bouillon. Remember, you can always add to, but you can't take away. And like I said, with any type of stock, soup, or what have you, it's always going to reduce down. So once it reduces down, the flavor intensifies as well as the salt content. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add my poultry seasoning. So I'm going to do a teaspoon of that. Tablespoon of the complete seasoning. There's nothing better than the taste of black pepper in chicken and noodles or chicken noodle soup. So what I'm doing is putting a full teaspoon because I like pepper. If you don't, you can put a 1/4 teaspoon or 1/2 teaspoon. But just you know, this isn't even quite a full teaspoon. Have some accent. Put a 1/2 teaspoon of that in there. And these are just basic components of the seasonings that I use when I cook anything. I would have also put some fresh garlic in here. However, I don't have any garlic, so I'm not going to be able to put it in there. I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon. I'm going to do a whole teaspoon of onion powder. And a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic because the garlic is kind of strong. So I'll go ahead and stir this up. Get all the seasonings combined. Then I'll add my chicken wings. Now that I brought this up to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to I'd say a medium to low simmer, and let it simmer for about an hour, and then we'll check it and see if the meat is falling off the bone. If it is, then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We'll be back. Okay guys, it's been about 44.5 minutes and the chicken is very tender and coming off the bone. So what I'm going to do is take them and put them on this platter, and I'm going to pull it off the bone once it cools off so that the chicken is evenly distributed. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my noodles in. So there's the chicken leg. Oh, hold on, I got one more. Alright. Alright, so there are the chicken legs and wings, or wingettes and drummies. I'm going to set those to the side and let them cool. And then go ahead and check for, I'm going to check for seasoning first. perfectly seasoned. It doesn't need any salt at all. You can probably put a couple cups of egg noodles. I don't like a lot of pasta in my stuff, so I'm gonna put, this is probably like about, which I actually, you know what, I'm sorry. You probably put about 3 to 4 cups. But I'm gonna put half. I'm gonna put 2 cups. These 2 big handfuls are literally about 2 cups because the noodles will swell once they do cook, because pasta expands. So we're gonna go ahead and let this cook for about 10 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and add the chicken back in. Add a little heavy cream. Actually, add the chicken back in, and that pretty much will be chicken noodle soup. But I'm gonna go ahead and add some heavy cream in there to make it more of a creamy chicken noodle soup, or chicken and noodles, whichever one you want to call it. And then also, with preparing a dish like this, you don't have to necessarily use noodles. You can use rice. You can use linguine. I mean, whatever type of pasta you like to use is totally up to you. But we'll go ahead and allow these to cook for about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay guys, it's been about 4.5 minutes. The chicken cooled down enough for me to pull it off the bone and kind of chop it up a little bit. We'll go ahead and add that to the noodles while they're still cooking. I could have let the chicken cook in the broth for the full hour or hour and 15 minutes or so, until it was to a point where I didn't have to pull it off the bone. It would have fell off the bone by itself. I don't like doing that, and the reason I don't like doing that is because when you cook the chicken, quote unquote, to death, or overcook the chicken when you're boiling it, it has a different texture and it tastes different, and I don't like that taste. So I cooked it long enough to a point where it was done, and also at the same time really tender, and when I would take my spoon, I could rub my spoon across it and it would actually come off the bone. Also, I put my bones back in there too. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm doing this because it's mine and I'm the only one eating it. To me, the bones give the stock flavor. So even after this is sat for a couple days or a day or so, it'll still be getting flavor from those bones. So I'm gonna let this go for another 5 minutes or so, and it should be done. Alright guys, so I'm back. It's been 10 minutes. The pasta is still a little al dente, which means it has a little chew to it. I don't like mine like that. I like mine like really done. So also I put a top on when I cook it the whole time. If you don't put a top over the pot, what'll happen is all the liquid will evaporate, and you don't want that to happen. So excuse me, pretty much with this is gonna be the chicken noodle soup, and you just serve it this way in your bowl. I'm actually doing a creamy chicken noodle soup, or creamy chicken and noodles. If you're gonna use the cream of chicken soup, I would strongly advise you, when you do your bouillon, to only do, if you do 5 cups of water, only do 2 teaspoons of bouillon, because that cream of chicken soup has a lot of salt in it, and that should compensate for salt and the chicken flavor. And at this point is when you would actually put the cream of chicken soup in there. But what I'm actually doing is I'm adding some heavy cream, and you want to turn this down on low, because if you don't, what will happen is the cream will curdle and it won't look too good in your soup. So I'm putting probably about a 1/4 of a cup in there to cook with that. And then I also made a slurry, which is a thickener that you use when you want to thicken up a soup or thicken up anything. Some people use excuse me, they use cornstarch and water. I'm using flour. And it's important that you do turn the stove down, because this stuff thickens up really quick depending on how much you use. I'm not going to use that much. And then you also want it to cook slowly so that that raw flour taste will cook out of the actual noodles or the meal or whatever it is that you're cooking. So as you can see, it's gotten very creamy. Let this go for about 5 minutes, and then it will be done. All right, guys, so I'm back. As you can see, the soup is creamy. Let me give you a close-up. See how creamy the soup is. It's done. I'll go ahead and plate me up some. Wasn't feeling well earlier, but I feel a lot better now. Maybe it's because of the soup. Who knows? All right. All right, so here it is. My version of my creamy chicken noodle soup. Hope that you enjoy this video. Hopefully you'll try it on your own. The recipe will be down in the description box. Please comment. Let me know how good it tastes. Comment. Let me know if you make different variations of the soup. Also share this video with anybody, everybody. Let them know what kind of recipes I'm doing. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. And hit that notification button at the top so you get notified each time that I do upload a video online. Be blessed, have a good day, and I'll see you next time. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell at the top right hand corner of the screen to be notified each time I upload a new video. And don't forget to leave a comment below. And if you don't mind, please go ahead and share the video. Until next time, stay safe.